Hello, YouTube. Luigi here. It's after 1 in the morning, and I got an idea for episode 15 in the series called Tales of a Country Architect. I don't know what to call this, so I'm going to call it HYDRIC B. HYDRIC B. I had a client, a couple, raising a young family, had a nice lakefront lot, going to build a nice home. They had their contractor in mind. A friend of the family, who was an insurance salesman. Great. So they're going to use him as a contractor because he's their friend. Great. I met the guy. He seemed nice enough. He's very intelligent. And he pointed out the survey, which I believe was done by one of my most ardent fans of this series, who's got a civil engineering firm down in Ossipee. And he's pointing out this thing called HYDRIC B soil, and how under no circumstances are we to cross the line and build and encroach and excavate within the HYDRIC B soil. It's an environmental thing. I get it. There seems to be plenty of available room on the site to stay away from it. And it's a good survey. There's 3 benchmark trees outside, slightly outside of the building and excavation zone, so I can really triangulate this footprint, this concrete foundation, and locate it very, very precisely. Okay, so we go through the design process. We complete the working drawings, and they're handed off to their project manager. I sort of hesitate to call him a contractor at this point. And he's got an excavator, and they're going to dig this foundation, which needs to be located exceedingly precisely. Now, coincidentally, I have another project in the same town a few miles away that this client is aware of, and they start digging like on the exact same day. They're like parallel projects, or should have been parallel projects. And my client here on the lake is aware of the other one and drives over there to take a look at that every once in a while, as any curious person would be going through this process. So I think what happened, as I try to piece this back together from memory, is the project manager was out of town, but he's handed off the excavation to his very capable excavator, with the caveat that stay the hell away from the HYDRIC B soil. Well, you don't even have to know where it is if you just follow the precise triangulation of the corners of this foundation from these 3 benchmark trees. It's dimensioned within 1/8 of an inch of its life. I've never taken more care in locating a foundation than with this one. When we didn't even rely on stakes in the field. The excavator had staked it out after we precisely located it on the survey. So the contractor's out of town, the project manager's out of town, the excavator's on his own, big boy, not his first rodeo, he's done this before. And here's the way the story goes. He found a condition, excuse me, he found a condition while excavating that he didn't like. Bothered him. So he makes a command decision to move the house 8 feet. 8 feet into, you guessed it, HYDRIC B soil. Project manager's out of town for a while. They pour the footings. They pour the wall. We have a concrete foundation in the ground, with one big corner of it sticking into HYDRIC B soil. Contractor comes back to town, discovers this error, and he just about turned white, and he's terrified. And he says to me, "What do we do?" I said, "I have a friend on the zoning board in this town. Let me talk to him in an unofficial capacity. I won't mention any names. I won't mention the property. I won't give a clue as to what's going on, where this project is, but let me describe what happened in general terms and see what he recommends. I trust this guy." He says, okay, do that. So I call up my buddy, and he goes, oh, this is a tough one, Luigi, because you got the DES involved, you got the Army Corps of Engineers involved, you practically have NASA involved here. He says, this is going to be a tough. He said, I recommend you apply for a variance and just put it out before the board and let them hear the case. The guy says, I don't know what else to tell you. He says, but don't build any more. Just bad enough you got a foundation. So that's what we did. So it took a while for the contractor to get back to town to discover all this. The foundation's there. Nothing's happening. And meanwhile, my client is going up to my other parallel job, watching all this amazing progress happening, the floor being framed, the walls being framed. And the project manager goes to the town, makes the application for a zoning, and they need several weeks or whatever their cycle is to notify the abutters. And probably the earliest this can happen is, 6-7 weeks out. By the time you get on the docket and notify the abutters, and then you have a schedule. You're on the docket before they can hear the case. So nothing's happening for 6-7 weeks of good weather. Where I live, building weather is building weather. Okay? So for 6 or 7 weeks, I haven't told the client what's going on here because the client selected this contractor. Okay? Not I. And I know the client's visiting the other job site. He's watching all this magnificent progress. So we're getting near the end of this waiting period. And he finally comes up to me, the client, and he says, how do you feel about the progress of my house? I said, well, what do you mean? He says, well, where do you think it should be by now? Because he's aware of the other house. I said, it should have a roof on it by now, because the other house had a roof on it by that. He goes, well, what's going on? I said, I really think you should have a conversation with your buddy, the builder. In other words, I didn't feel this was mine to disclose. Okay? So he goes, okay. And he did. And he finally, after having been kept in the dark for all these weeks, he finally learns of this great snafu. Now, much to his credit, they were not mad. They were cool. This was their friend. They were going to uphold the loyalty of this relationship. And I just thought he gets all kinds of points for that. So the day of reckoning comes, and project manager appears before the zoning board. And he's gifted with a golden tongue, and he's articulate, and he's intelligent. And apparently he put together a cogent and compelling case. And he walked out of there that night with the variance, against all odds, with the variance. And then they started building again, and everyone was greatly relieved that they weren't forced to remove this foundation, which is not unheard of when there's encroachments into setbacks and things. Not unheard of. Now, did the excavator really screw up here? I wasn't there. I don't want to speak to that. He may have made a great command leadership decision. One thing about leaders, a great leadership trait is they think on their feet. They don't form committees. They don't vet shit for 10 months. They cut through the fat. They make decisions, and they get things done. Did he make a good decision? I want to believe that he did. It's too easy to say, oh, that guy screwed up, point fingers and cast blame. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. I want to believe the best in him, and I want to believe that he summoned his best judgment. In the end, everything turned out just fine. HYDRIC B soil. If you see it, stay the hell away from it. All right, everybody. Episode 15. God bless you. I love you all. Bye-bye.